and not be Emerald and wait for a business builder to come along is her question.
Teresa, are you on? I can't see you. That's all. I think she is.
On.
Oh, you popped up. Okay. Do you want to answer this? Or do you want me to answer it?
I feel like it depends on the situation. I do think that Emerald is extremely important. You start to earn a residual income from that. It's the foundation of your business. I think if you lose Emerald, your number one priority should be to get that rank back. Now, do I have a lot of lifelong customers that are not coaches and are not getting the discount? I don't have a ton, to be honest. I do have, I would say, about 5 people who are religious Shakeology drinkers. They get it from me every single month. They know about the 25% discount and they just choose to remain on HD and pay full price. I don't know. I guess it's personal preference for them. Business-wise for you, if you are a very solid diamond and you don't need them to be a coach, then it would make sense for them to stay a customer if that's what they want to do, if they're happy paying full price. But I would say your number one priority should be to get your Emerald back. That's my thought.
Yeah, and an additional answer that I have for that is that a lot of times coaches rely on a handful of people to build their business. And so I see this a lot of people defending rank who are dropping in and out of rank all the time is that they have, so it's like, oh, if I get this person, I wouldn't necessarily even go that way of thinking. Like, sure, they could become a coach. Sure, they can stay your customer. But I'm more thinking like, I need to help 3 more coaches join my team. I'm more going that way. Whether this person decides to join me, I think that always letting people know their option of having savings and joining, I think the team is the best part. I think it's the greatest thing we offer. Our team is not in a Beachbody script. Our team isn't something that Beachbody tells us and lays out to do. We ran it the way that we wanted to run it, which was full of community, linking arms with people and supporting each other and getting and maximizing our results. And so for me, I think to be a part of the team is the greatest part of this. So I'm always going to talk to people about it, but I'm not relying on whether they want to or not. I'm always just like moving. And I think that's the business builder mindset if you want to build a business. Like if Emerald is just your goal, I have to tell you there's so much more potential beyond that. And so that really just depends on where your goal is. For me, I wanted to build a team. I didn't want to be a leader of challenge groups. I wanted to be a leader of a team. So our coach of a challenge group, I want to be a leader of a team. So I'm just thinking forward of whether that person joins me, it doesn't really matter. Like I'm going to go this way.
Can I just add real quick on that? Picture these 2 businesses. One business, okay, you're a half an Emerald right now, right? At one point you were an Emerald, so right now you have 1 active coach, okay? You continue to add and you continue to show up on social media daily and you continue to visualize where you're going in this business, and eventually brick by brick by brick, you're going to build a very stable money earning business, okay? Or this business where you're half an Emerald and you think, which customer of mine can I beg to be a coach to hold my Emerald rank, and then when one of the 2 goes inactive or falls off or cancels, then I'm going to find somebody else. And then you play this game of adding a coach, losing a coach, adding a coach, losing a coach. It sucks. It's not fun. You're never going to earn money that way. That's a miserable business. This is a fun, stable business. I would for sure just like all gears ahead. Don't rely on her. If she says no, that's okay. You're going to keep talking to people and growing your business.
That's good. I don't know why the story of these monkeys in Africa that hunters will get, they put some of the food that they eat inside a coconut, and the monkeys will reach inside the coconut and make a fist, like getting these like worms or grubs or whatever. And then that's how the hunters are able to capture them, because the monkeys are so determined to hold on to these grubs that they're shackled to these like fake coconuts that the hunters put out. And all they have to do is let go of those grubs and they would be free and they wouldn't be caught, but they're just so locked on that. And I don't know why that story is what came to my mind, thinking about a $30 commission and not letting that go is going to potentially stop you from the freedom and the limitless possibility that growing a team and that team cycle bonus could create for you. So anyway, I don't know the name of those monkeys. You can Google it. Back to social media. Angie Han, like pages. Some coaches have them, some people don't. Can you talk about the benefits or the drawbacks? And do you recommend having one? I feel like that's you, Teresa. You have like a killer like page.
Okay, I've gone through like ebbs and flows with my like page. I was like all in, all my eggs were in my Facebook like page. I heard very early on as a coach, invest 10% of your income that you make as a coach back into growing your business as a coach. So what I did when I started was I immediately started a like page. And I remember vividly this conversation with Trina. I was like, I started a like page. I invited my entire friend list to it. And she's like, oh my God, you did what? You should just take that down, pump the brakes for a second. I was like, oh, I am not taking it down. That is like, that would be mortifying to me to like put it out there and then be like, just kidding. I'm just going to suck that back in and pretend I didn't send you that, that invite to like my page. It's no big deal. Just ignore it. And I was like, I'm going to go all in with this. So I invested in a Facebook ad training by Jesse Reagan. He still does it. And I learned a lot about how to do ad sets, how to run multiple ad campaigns. I had a couple of posts go viral just about motherhood. I have about 50,000 followers on my like page. And then Instagram kind of blew up. And a lot of my focus went over to Instagram. And a lot of the algorithm changes affected my like page on Facebook when they split those two news feeds where, I don't know about you, but if you notice, you don't see a lot of business in your newsfeed unless it's a paid sponsored ad. Okay, so unless it's something prompting you to click here to buy something or whatever, you just don't see a whole lot of it. Do I think it's good to have a like page and to be present in two spots? Absolutely. What if something were to happen? I know Facebook owns Instagram, but I always think like, what if my Instagram was compromised and got deleted? I would have nothing if I didn't have my like page. What if the same thing happened to my like page and Instagram? I do think it's good to be present in both areas. I think of different demographics. I don't think a lot of my mom's friends have Instagram, and a lot of my mom's friends are customers of mine. So you hit different demographics on each platform. Do I think it's takes a whole lot of effort to like copy and paste your Instagram post to your Facebook post or even link the two just to be showing up in both spots? No. Do I think you should do it? Yes. Do I think if you don't have one, you should get off this call and start one? I'm not sure. So that's a confusing answer, but I do think you can grow it. I do think you have to have a CEO mentality. If you start a like page and you don't put $1 of investment back into it, it will not grow to what you want it to be. That's what I think.
And I think, yeah, I have a like page too, but I didn't work it for like 2 years of my business or, whatever. I just started it back up again. But it's not even that I can tell you guys that it's 100% Instagram, 100% Facebook, or 100% my like page. It's that I'm just being somewhere. I'm somewhere, whether it's I'm talking to someone in person or whatever. So wherever you are sharing your story, own that and do that every single day. It's not going to be a specific platform that moves your business. What's going to move your business is your mindset and your vital behaviors. Nikki Kerrigan said this yesterday and it blew my mind. And I was like, yes. She said, I never set goals to do the vital behaviors. Like if she would be like, what's my goal for today? To do the vital behaviors. The vital behaviors should be brushing our teeth. It's something we don't even think about. And for me, that's what I do. I just do my vital behaviors. I'm always connecting, always inviting, always working on myself and sharing my story somewhere. And my goal then is to I'm going to hit Success Club is what my goal is, right? I make a Success Club goal, but the vital behaviors, we need to be showing them somewhere.
Barbie asked, do you post on your personal Facebook page? I do occasionally. I don't do it a whole lot. I never really have. I just actually asked this on the Diamond, or on the, what day is it? Thursday. On Trina's Zoom this morning. And I said, what about recognition on your personal page, just to like show people, like people that are working with me are having success. People on our team are also seeing success. It's not just one person. And I look at, you know, I've always admired like Jen Richardson and Stephanie Chico, and they're always doing recognition on their page. And I think it's so admirable to see all of the women, not only that they've built their team with, but that are also seeing their own success. And I think being an outsider looking at that would be very motivational to start coaching. That's my thought on that. I also have a friend within the business, she's not on our team, Chelsea. She is a 7-star diamond. She's built her business 100% from her personal page. I don't think it's where you build or how many followers you have or how many likes you have. It's what you do with the people that are following you.
Dude, we just said that when you were off the call, where I said it's not about how many people are following you and like whatever, as long as you're connecting. So that just shows that success leaves clues. Darla, hit us with another one.
Excellent. This is from Melissa McFall, who's a gal on my team who I adore. I'm glad I randomly pulled her name out. Invites follow-ups. How do you follow up while sounding genuine? I remember when people tell me their goals but aren't ready to commit yet, but I'm so worried I won't sound genuine when I follow up. And here's my short answer to that, and then I'll turn it over to one of you girls, is she is genuine. I know she's genuine, and I know she really cares about people's goals. So you don't have to worry about how you sound. Just be, just do what would be natural. Have a natural conversation and don't worry about how it comes off. You're not responsible for the interpretation for somebody else.
We hesitate so much based on fear. We hesitate so much based on the unknown. And if you, because you know what? I've had really great intentions and people call me out for being not genuine. This was really in the beginning, but my intentions were really good. And, you know, I don't know if I've ever led my business with bad intentions of when I've gotten desperate. That's happened before when I first started my business. And you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And if someone's not ready to hear it, they can decide in their own life a lie or make up some kind of justification to why not to do this. So if you're thinking about being salesy or thinking about that it's weird to follow up, I think it's, what is it? It's like only 3% of people follow up 5 or more times with someone. And a lot of the diamonds on my team, a lot of the people that have joined me, it's because I asked them for 2 straight years. I asked them for 4 straight years because my intentions were, this is amazing. This is going to transform your life. Why? Because it has for me. So I follow up nonstop, and where this happens and where this moves is most likely in a follow-up, least likely in an automatic sign-up. It's happened to me, but when I look across the board on my team, it was with people that I followed up with that joined, rarely a first time I'm going to sign up. So I have 1 million girls right now checking out the Ultimate Portion Fix. They've already checked it out. I'm following up with them today, and then I'm going to follow up with them in a couple more days. I'm just like fortunate in the follow up. That's how I've built my business. And if you're thinking you don't want to be weird, you're not going to be weird because it's on your mind. So you're going to be genuine. But if your intentions are always good, people are crazy and they might question you. But if you know your heart is good, go with it.
I've got 2 things. If you guys were on this call the other night with Keith Callahan, he said, if you can answer these 2 questions for them, they will sign up with you. Can you help me? And can I do this? So when thinking of the follow-up, if you know the things that they're struggling with, if you know the problems that they're having that you can solve, you need to say, I can help you with XYZ when you're ready. And then, can they do this? I know you can do this. I believe in you. I'll be here when you're ready. Okay, you could do something like that. Julianne and Darla recommended this podcast, and I just got to listen to the first 5 minutes of it. And this just kind of goes back to belief and not leading your follow-ups or leading in your business with fear. But she had mentioned, if we had, think of somebody, a loved one or a friend or somebody that you know in life that is struggling with a chronic illness right now. Okay, we all have somebody that we can think of. If you had the cure to their problem in your back pocket, would you hesitate to tell them about it? No. Would you be nervous about what they thought? No. If you truly believed in if you truly had the cure to cancer and your mom or your best friend's aunt was struggling with cancer and you could say, if you take this and do this, it will cure you, and I'm 100% confident in that. That's the type of belief you have to have in your business. Do you believe that this business can change lives? Like, look at all the women on this call right now. We've all in some way had our lives bettered or changed because of this business. That's the type of mentality that we have to think in when we're working our business. We can't think like, what if they say no? What if they think I'm being salesy? What if they think I'm being pushy? Because all of that self-doubt is going to sit on your chest like a brick, and you are going to hate working this business. You have to go about it thinking of all the people on this call right now that are proof that what we do is amazing. So that's my input on that.
Tying that back to the vitals never being like part of the goal list. It was so funny. We're on like a text thread about this call, and like one person rattled off one line from that podcast, and then we'd all just randomly listen to it today because we're all doing personal development every single day. And I thought that was just like, it was awesome. First of all, that we could all like randomly quote these random lines from her, but that we'd all listened to it, because that's what successful people do, is every day dive into their mind and their
Darla, I thought the same thing, where I was like, there was a moment where I was like, I freaking love partnering with these women who have already invested in personal development today, and we can talk about bigger ideas. There was something I wrote down today where it said, sometimes you have to start small, but always think big. And so I was just like, man, we just are forward thinkers. Like, we're just big thinkers, big dreamers. And that's why I love this community, that everyone that's on this call, it is so awesome. Like, just to be moving somewhere.
And that's what you invite to. All right. Team building. Tessa Spurk. Yes. Taking my business outside of social media. How do I get into business or corporate wellness or working with clients of health and related fields? So listen, that's a really awesome question. And you have a ton of tools at your fingertips. I'm going to tuck this aside because I feel like this is specific. And I feel like we also have some really good information that Trina's put out. She's like the goddess of corporate wellness. Tell me if you disagree, Julian or Teresa. I think we should stick with ones that are a little more broad for more people.
Her YouTube has really great things. Stacy Ricciardi definitely has done this. And so I'm just going to recommend you to Trina's YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on there. That's like what she they all specialize in that. So
I'm going to compile some things and send it to you. If anybody else, you could reach out to me too, and I'll get you the same resources. But I'm going to stick with things that are a little more encompassing for most people, just in a time effort to save time. Sarah McDowell. I just moved and I don't know a single person. I'm not super outgoing. Can I build my tribe only online? I've always lived in a town where I knew everyone. How do you meet people? And then how do you even work the Beachbody business? Great question. I only want to work with people online. I don't ever want to work with people face to face. So that sounds ideal to me.
I'm an outgoing introvert, so I'm a homebody and I prefer working online. But I moved to California almost 3 years ago, which is so crazy. I had built most of my team and all of my relationships in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So a lot of my team is in Wisconsin. And I moved here and I was really grateful to have an online community. So I don't have the biggest team here. Most of my team is Midwest. So I think I have 1 or 2, 3 coaches here in California, and we're still an hour, 5 hours away from each other. But expanding your network always works. And as far as people, I've helped clients here locally, is I just got involved with organizations. I got involved with my church stuff, and I was able to meet people, and then I would always make it a point to friend request them online. So it was interesting. They would see my stuff online, but when I was with them in person, I was just not the fitness person. And so then they got really curious about it. And that's how, actually, no, I just had someone join as a coach that lives 15 minutes from me. So that's brand new, but which I'm so excited for her. And yeah.
I think the same thing. And when I saw this question, it made me think of something that my dad told me. So I live in a family of entrepreneurs. My mom is a real estate broker, and my dad was in credit card sales. So when I worked with him, I was like, gosh, aren't you nervous that you're going to like run out of accounts or people like around here that want to work with you? And he said, if I ever confined myself so much as to one zip code, there's no way I would have the business that I do today. And I was like, oh, like you're not making all your money. And that sounds terrible, but you're not like uber successful by working with people in our little zip code of 8,000 people. That's when it clicked for me. I'm like, this is like all online stuff and telemarketing stuff and things like that. It's not all local. So that was eye-opening for me. And I think the really cool thing and the number one most powerful thing we have at our fingertips is social media and hashtags. And you can legitimately hang out in hashtags and engage with people that you want to engage with based on what they're putting out there. You can go to Mom of Three if you're a mom of three, and you can sit and scroll and you can comment and message and watch stories and reply to them and engage with these people that are your ideal customer before you even say one word to them, right? You can just see like, I would want to work with her, versus walking past somebody in the street, having to awkwardly get to know them over coffee, maybe someday bringing up the business opportunity. And then like, I don't know, I just feel like we have such a fast track to success into working with our tribe that we can't take advantage of that.
And you love the people you work with because they're your tribe. On the cruise that's happening in 2 weeks, I have 9 of my girls coming with me, and they live all throughout the country. And so the coolest part about Beachbody is you have all these times throughout the year where Darla, Teresa, and I are heading to Chicago in a couple months to just hang out together. And where it's like, that's really cool that that's what this vision of a business gets to do for us, is that even your friendships that are all around, is that you get to meet up locally. Sometimes that's not the case for me. You get to internationally, we've gone to places, or all throughout the country. So that's like thinking so big in this of, it doesn't really matter where your tribe is, because you get to connect with them regularly. You always have to have a pulse on your business. I always say that to my team. Wherever you're plugging in, I'm so stoked about it. Plug in and link arms with the people in the community. I'm talking Zoom, right? And jumping on Zooms, whether it's once a week or whatever. But there's so much beyond that, where we've had retreats, right? We've had retreats where we get to meet up. I'm having a team retreat in fall in Lake Tahoe. So it's just like, it's really cool, the opportunities throughout this time of coaching that comes to your life.
That was a really great question, Sarah. And I think it's so cool that the internet has really alleviated the thought of a small town or a big city, because with the internet, we all have the same opportunities at our fingertips. And I could cut your question a different way and be like, how lucky you are to have all the resources of the people who lived where you used to live, and then all the opportunity to meet and know and connect with the new people around you in your new town. And this business gives you such a great vehicle to meet and make new friends, even locally. So Mallory had some great suggestions about connecting with people in the town and getting to know them as well. So great question. Okay, back to the top. Oh, let's see, that was team building. So yeah, we're back to the top for social media. This is so fun. I love getting y'all's questions answered and hearing what's on your mind. Okay, this is from Kelly Claxton. What strategy do you find best to grow your network on Instagram? I've got one. I go to the explore button every morning when I'm sitting on the water closet, and I find a post that I find interesting, and I go to it, and then I follow everybody that looks like I might like them, and then I don't worry about developing a relationship. I'd say that that's 30 people. I don't worry about developing a relationship with them until they follow me back. And then I go to their page, and then sometimes I unfollow people because they're not who I thought they were going to be, or they're another Beachbody coach or something like that. But then that's when I offer my, as Gary V would say, my 2 cents to them. That's when I start building the relationship. I'm not doing that like 5 things and say 3 comments and ask them about their blood type until I see that they're willing to follow me back so that I can begin to plant my seeds with them. And then that's when I offer my 2 cents. So that's what I do. Just a ton of follows every single morning. It's tied to a specific action, and then I build when they've extended their hand back to me. That's my strategy.
I think we both echo that.
All right.
I think engage. If you don't engage with them, they won't engage with you. So if you're trying to grow your business, you've got to engage with more people.
And I say that I do that during that specific activity, not to be funny, but that's something that I do every single day. And it's something that I can multitask. So even if I have the flu or my days gain away from me or my kids have a field trip or whatever else it is, I'm still doing that one thing, and I'm dropping into my business by expanding my network every day, no matter what. So, okay, on to our next one from Ellie, who's also on my team, a brand new Emerald. Whoop, whoop. What do you find where do you find or create different challenge group themes that are out of the ordinary? Do you suggest using Facebook or the challenge group app to run them? We touched on this a little bit. What do you think, girls? Where do you get your cute creative ideas? Teresa, you do darling things.
Just as an example, in March, I literally looked around my desk and I'm like, oh, okay, Perfection Detox. I pulled up PicMonkey. I made some cute graphics. I found sentences out of the book that jumped out at me, and I made 14 days worth of graphics and surrounded my challenge group content around the book. I also have purchased challenge group guides from Danielle Nazer on Etsy. I'll find her account and I'll paste it in the comment section. And there's also a coach within the network that sells challenge group guides. I don't even know who she is because I get them through one of my success partners, and they're okay. They're generic, so I don't love them, so I wouldn't even recommend her. I don't know why I said that, but Danielle has really good content. If you hate coming up with content or you feel like that's not a strong point of yours, I would use that. Otherwise, I would look in the file section of Team Rockstar Fit, of the Diamond page if you're in there. I know in my personal PS page, I share a ton, like all my challenge groups I share in there. There's a lot of stuff, but I would just say if you are like out of ideas and you don't feel creative, just Google motivational quotes and then use that as your guide and let that spark some, I don't know, creative juices, or listen to a podcast and put your whole entire challenge group around the points that you learned in that podcast. I mean, there's little things. I do think we overthink it. And I've done polls in my groups where I'm like, do you guys like the long, meaningful, deep, thought out posts at 6 a.m.? Because I hate freaking writing them. Or do you like the to the point, you're here for accountability, you just want me to show up and you want to show up type posts? And 9 times out of 10, it's the straight to the point. I skim them, and a lot of them said, I don't read the full post when it's long. So ask your clients what they like and listen to them and give them different variations and let them tell you and point you in the right direction of what they find to be helpful.
I 100% agree. Google has a lot of awesome, if you were to challenge group ideas for Beachbody, things are going to pop up. There's a lot of YouTube videos with ideas, but I think it's just this whole idea of where do you want to be spending most of your time? for me, it was to build a team. And I just was like, okay, if I show up in a challenge group as my best challenger and just root for other people, that's enough. We're not here to hold their hands. We're not here to be their therapist, and we're not here to drag them along. And I think a lot of times coaches will spend too much time developing content. People aren't going to be moved by your content as much as they are as how you show up. But they spend so much time on graphics, so much time on content, so much time on setup that they forget to keep inviting to their next group. They keep forgetting to start building their team. So if there's any piece of advice that I can give you guys, it's this, is just trust that if you are rocking your journey, be transparent about how you're doing that. So for me, if I'm sharing a shake, I'll share the recipe, how I found the recipe, and why I love it. I'll share Shakeology facts of, I love that this is my prenatal right now, and da-da-da-da. Like, it's so simple, so quick. I use Google a lot, right? For my workout, I'll be like, who got it done today? And I'll share a video of me before I was pregnant to now 20 weeks pregnant and comparing them and being like, look, I'm a lot slower, but like, look, I'm still doing it. And that's more, that moves them more. Question I asked today, well, what was your favorite part? What was something, a favorite thing that happened to you today? Was a random question that I had without a graphic. And it is like, do, 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 just going with all these things. And it took me 5 seconds. And it's been really cool to read their answers. So that's my biggest piece of advice is be careful how you spend your time. Trust that you showing up as the best challenger in there moves them more than pretty graphics and all this content.
I'm going to contribute to, if that's cool. I try and follow kind of a template for the 3 weeks of a challenge group. I found that 21 days, which has nothing to do with the 21-day fix, seems to be the sweet spot for challenge groups. It's not too long. It's not too short. The first week is me feeding them. So, hey, this is how I meal prep. This is how I meal plan. Here's where I go for recipes. This is why I drink my shake every day. It's me feeding into them. The second week is me empowering them. I'm asking them questions. What's on your meal plan this week? What was your favorite shake this week? What are you looking forward to most this week? How are you finding the ways to get your water in? I show them that they know more than they're probably giving themselves credit for. And then the third week, I dive into mindset a little bit more, personal development pieces. I might drop a Brendan Burchard YouTube video or, some more motivational quotes. But that's sort of the 3-week template that I have as our process. I also always kind of just keep my thumbprint or my finger on the pulse of how it's feeling. Like sometimes everyone's just like freaking slaying. And sometimes everyone's like, oh Jesus, do I have to drink water? I had no idea there was water involved in this. So I just try and like stay in tune with how it's happening. I've also learned I used to hit really high Success Club points and spend a lot of time in my challenge groups, but my team was at the same level for literally years. And when I was willing to let the Success Club points go down a little bit and spend a little bit more time mentoring other coaches, let my challenge groups be a little less good because I was pulling in new coaches and running them together instead of being the queen of challenge groups, everything shifted. It wasn't so complicated and so hard that other people were like, oh yeah, I could probably do that. When I was running them on my own and responding to every single message and all these check-ins and going to their home and preparing their shakes for them every day, people were like, frick no, I don't want to be a coach. Thanks, but no thanks. No. So simpler, just like Julianne said, be super present, be helpful about your own journey, but don't be so freaking good and so intimidating that everyone's like, no way do I want to do that. Keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it fun and engaging for you. And what would you join? I love that national wake-up call that Kelsey Smith did a couple weeks ago about her fun-themed things. I don't want to be in a Hogwarts themed. I'm 2 years old. Show me how to make lasagna in 5 minutes. That's what I care about. So that's the kind of challenge group that I'm going to run. Think about what would you join? And if Hogwarts is it for you, then cool, run with that. Otherwise, don't get caught up in looking at what everybody else is doing and feeling like you need to be doing more.
If there's anything you all should just write down right now, it's that, like, first of all, gold, and that's my takeaway. Darla just mentored me, and I'm so grateful for that because I'm coachable. But like seriously, where that just did an aha in my head of I do that, but the way you worded it, because we want this business, the way your business is going to grow. And I hope you all understand the potential of this business. It's life-changing in so many ways. The only way to really do that is to make things duplicatable, but it doesn't necessarily mean follow this system, then finish this training, and then just go do this. Being like creating duplication is like, I get my workout done every day. I listen to PD every day. I have an invite list every day, and I recognize achievement every day, right? I'm getting people results, where that's duplicatable when Darla just said exactly how she did about her group. Of someone who, I could do that. I'm already doing that. I'm already showing up. It's the whole coach to self or coach to others. In the groups, our biggest thing is get them to be a coach of themselves by showing up. Then they'll realize, oh, I can coach other people to show up to be coaches to themselves. So good, Darla. Like, that was amazing. I say we do one more question.
Great. That's what I was just going to ask. One more. Let's see. We have a ton on social media, but I feel like do we have we need a wheel. Why don't we have a wheel? Mallory? Which topic should I do? Social media?
I say team building.
Okay. There's only 2 of them, and they're thin. Let's see.
Oh, maybe not team building. I just feel like that's everyone's thing. Like, how do you invite?
It's from Megan Lander, whose birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday.
All of Darla's team is on, and all of Darla's team did the questions. I'm so impressed.
Listen, these girls show up. They are on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you bridge? It's better be a good question, Megan, since it's our closing one and everyone knows you're on my team now. All right. How do you bridge the gap between interacting and going for the invite? Inviting is my weakness and what scares the crap out of me. I want to share the opportunity, but I don't want to come off as salesy. I started conversations with people on random stuff, but then I don't know how to take it to the invite, which is great, right? You're seeing people, you're connecting, but then you don't know how to bridge that gap between the connection and the invitation. So.
I was waiting for Teresa. I can answer it, or you can answer it.
I would just say, especially if it's somebody you don't know, who cares? Like, who cares? I'm pretty sure I was actually just scrolling before I got on this call, because last night I came across this account of this girl. She used a hashtag. I'm not even sure, but you can follow hashtags so they show up in your feed if you don't do that on social or on Instagram. So anyway, it showed up on my feed, and she ended up following me, and so I sent her my free meal prep guide, whatever. So we got talking. I went to her profile. I saw she recently shared a before and after picture, and she was complaining about being at a plateau, but her before and after from July to now was incredible, like jaw-dropping amazing. And I scrolled, and I'm like, she doesn't look like she's involved with anything. She's got about 300 followers. So I voice messaged her, and I was like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. I just saw your last post that you did, that you said you're struggling with being at a plateau. I just want to let you know that, like, regardless of you thinking you're struggling, you look amazing. And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I was like, what are you doing? And she said, well, up until now is just like, I tried cutting carbs and then I couldn't keep up with it. So we were just kind of going back and forth. And then right before bed, I was like, well, I'm glad we connected. I think you look great. I have an upcoming nutrition boot camp. I would love for you to join. Maybe that's the key to breaking through your plateau. Let's chat. She hasn't responded, and I'm not sure, but I'm thinking maybe she blocked me. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out. But anyway, if she did block me, who cares? Like, maybe I will never see her again. I literally don't care. Like, am I going to let one person that blocked me or didn't want to work with me prevent me from finding 100 that do? No. Like, do they pay my bills? No. Do they fill my kids' college tuition savings accounts? No. Like, we can't let the little opinions of other people who literally don't care. I block people left and right. It's not because I think they're horrible humans. It's just because I'm like, don't need to be in your circle, and that's fine. But you can't let that hold you back from potentially, like, getting out there in front of more people, inviting more people. The more you're told no is also the more you're told yes.
And I feel like not taking the action, you're already guaranteeing a no. And so by saying, like, I'm so afraid, then you're not doing the action, and then it's not growing. I literally made a post today, and this is in a comment, so this is not even in a message, where she was like, wow, you look amazing. I want my next pregnancy to be like that. And then I said, well, move with me now, like, do this now. And she said, I'm actually training for a half marathon. I'm down 10 pounds. And then I said, look at you go. You need to join my crew. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. Make fitness your business and be surrounded by badass women who want to crush it like you. And so a lot of times when we overthink when to transition, we don't transition, just transition. So if you're having a great conversation with someone, be like, hey, I don't know if you saw, first of all, it's been so fun talking with you. I don't know if you saw, but I have a really cool nutrition, clean up your nutrition boot camp. It would be so fun to get you in that, and let's partner together and do it together. Like, they're not going to be like, you're the worst, you suck, I hate you. Like, I think our greatest fear, they're either going to say, awesome, tell me more about it, or yeah, I did see that, or no thanks, not right now. And you're going to live, and it's going to be amazing because you're just going to keep on doing it. And then you're not attaching your emotion to their reaction. You're not attaching your emotion to their answer. So even when someone says yes, I'm not overly fist pumping, because they could cancel, they could quit. Like, if like I did that in the beginning, and people would break my heart, you know, because I would be so emotionally connected to what they were doing. My husband does this, and I swear it's like he just tells a dude the price and how you can make money in this, and they're like, sign me up. And that's just how it goes. And for some reason, for women, we're just so like, oh, like, we don't want to be offensive, where it's like, if you believe in something, if this changed your life, how can you even be salesy on that? Or go listen to Brooke Castillo in her last podcast, and she said these 3 things. Selling is about giving and not getting. So everyone sells. I had to sell my husband on to marry me, right? Like, or to like me, like all those we're constantly selling. You're selling your kids to like eat whatever you made for them. Like, we're constantly selling. It's not a bad thing. The law of selling is giving value. Every time you give value, you'll receive value. And then the last thing is sell what you would want to buy. You guys, I would not be good at selling makeup. Like, you should just see my daily life. Like, Darla and Teresa are just queens, and I am just like this like rag doll, and I'm okay with it. Like, I totally am. But it's like, I literally like couldn't sell certain things just because I do not believe in them. Like, it's just not me. But what's cool is fitness is for everybody. Health is for everybody. It never goes out of style. It's what we need for life. And I can get freaking behind that, even when I was 35 pounds heavier when I first started this. And so you're selling a lifestyle of transformation. Own it because of what it's done for you. Now, if this is the worst opportunity, it sucks. You don't have any positive interactions. All of your mentoring is the worst. Darla's your mentor, right? You know, like, you're just having the worst experience ever. Then yeah, don't go talk to people about it. But if this has like done something for you, oh, it should be like excitement. And it's like, sucks to be you, or like, you're lost. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Not sucks to be you, but like, you're lost. You're lost that you're saying no to yourself, because this is awesome. And you know what? You're just going to keep watching me show up, and then you're going to come back. Someone messaged me before this call saying, hey, I want to get Shakeology and get this. She joined me 4 years ago and quit. And now she's back. I just think like, I just kept showing up.
I think like when I first got invited, Trina wasn't the person to invite me. That's a long story. I won't get into that. But I was first approached by a girl on Instagram, and she asked if I wanted to join when Insanity Max 30 came out. And I told her I didn't want the Shakeology, and I wanted a list of the ingredients. And just going back to the whole following up thing, if she wouldn't have followed up with me, I would not have sought her out, because I was not like I didn't understand Beachbody. I didn't understand the challenge groups. I didn't understand the team. I didn't understand what was being presented to me. To me, I was being presented with a really freaking expensive challenge pack. At the time, was like $210. I was on maternity leave, and I didn't really care to jump into the opportunity. And so she followed up with me and explained to me, and I was like, okay. I got in the group, and that's when I was exposed to what this could potentially be for me. So had she not followed up, I would not be here. Had she not invited me, I would not be here. So just think of that. Like, you could be talking to your next 5-star diamond coach.
I'm going to add something really quick if you guys don't mind. I got an invite this week from somebody with Rodan and Fields, and I literally PS'd her and was like, this is how invites should be done. It was specific to me. Hey, Darla, you don't know me. We're just friends on Facebook. I really love your posts. They're super inspiring. It was an invitation to me, right? It wasn't just copy and paste. Hey, have you heard about? And then she said, I didn't know if you'd ever heard of, Rodan and Fields, but and she went into her spiel. It was specific to me. I wasn't just a copy and paste list. She was just seeing if I was open to what she wanted. And she gave me an easy out. It was easy. All I could say was, thank you for the sweet compliments. I'm already on reverse, obviously. And, I appreciate you reaching out to me. It was simple. It was easy. It didn't feel weird and slimy and sideways salesy. It was really, real well done. Secondly, I'm awful with invitations on Facebook because sometimes I don't know how I know the people, and I send them an invite and they're like, I was just with you 2 minutes ago. Why are, it felt less congruent to me, but Instagram is amazing. And scrolling down to see who watched your stories and then just zipping them a message. I have one saved in the keyboard on my Instagram, or in my settings under keyboard. So I just type IG script and it populates and it says, hey, you've been watching my stories. I feel awful. I should have invited you to do my next, boot camp. It's fitness and nutrition based. Is that something that's interesting to you? They open the door by watching my stories, right? They're paying attention, they're looking, and that gives me an opportunity to reach out to them. I do 10 of those every day. It takes 0% of time. And I also don't feel weird about it since they're watching me instead of me just like reaching out and trying to chase them. So that doesn't exactly talk about how to bridge the gap, but that just does at least start a conversation a little bit. I think this was awesome. I know I learned stuff. The chat's blowing up. It was super fun. Any last minute thoughts? I'm going to turn it over to you, Teresa, our moderator. And
no, this is great. I just think like every time you take time out of your night or your day to get on a Zoom or listen to a recording, you're learning something new that you can apply. And I'll leave you with this. This is like my motto. And I shared this with my team this week after the Build to Last call with Keith, is I have a rule that within 24 hours of me being on a call, I have to apply something that I wrote down to my business that will move it forward. So maybe you have notes tonight, go through them and decide what are you going to take action on right away. Ideas die in notebooks. Ideas don't die if you implement them. So don't just get on all these Zooms and learn all these things and just learn to the point of overwhelm. Learn something and apply it within 24 hours. Inch by inch, that will move you miles. So thank you guys so much for getting on. Oh, Darla.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, before we hang up, we're going to draw 3 names since we're not having trivia. So sorry, I've got give me 1 second. I'm just going to put all the names back in the cup. It's for everyone who entered, not just the ones that we called on. So give me just 1 second. Mallory, thank you for helping keep us honest. We didn't want to miss anything. Okay. Okay, everybody's back in here. Let me pull and see. Okay. Cup. Shaker cup from Trina Gray, Team Rockstar Fit, with the super cool teal top. The top one goes to Beth. Oh, Beth. What a last name. And it's a compound last name. Beth Schoenwelther Luke Clem.
Whoa.
Beth, one's coming to you, sister. We're going to find you on Facebook. Yay, your name. Next.
Oh, she even has it at SL on her Zoom. It must be a long one.
Yeah, it's a lengthy name. Megan Lander or Megan Thompson for your birthday. Shaker code.
Yay.
I feel like Oprah. I went straight to Oprah voice, didn't I?
You guys actually win a car.
You get a cup. You get a cup. And Beth SL gets a cup. Kelly Vandermolen gets a cup.
Yay!
Yay! Awesome, ladies. We will reach out and get your deets to get you your shaker cups. Thanks, guys.
Bye.